Oscar is in Montreal, Quebec. He learned French and he obtained his permanent residency recently, right? So, congratulations, Oscar. Oscar is one of our clients. And from the beginning of his journey, Oscar and his employer, Pressbooks, partner with our team to navigate the complexities of Canada's immigration system. We started with obtaining his LMIA support work permit through the Global Talent Stream program, and then he received the CAQ to work legally in Quebec, in Montreal, and culminating in his permanent residency in the province. So throughout this process, our team provided personalized guidance, strategic planning, and continuous support. So Oscar's achievement reflects his dedication and the commitment of our consultants to helping skilled individuals build their professional and personal lives in Quebec. So the floor is yours, Oscar. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Yes. Well, it's a pleasure to share some of the key aspects of my journey to become a permanent resident in Canada. So, I think let's start. Could you, please? Yes. So this is the agenda for today. Like kind of like introduction, the importance of having a good system to succeed, tips and tricks, and maybe some challenges that you could face when you do like an immigration path. Okay, so yeah, so before starting the formal presentation, let me show you the intro. So I don't know the average age of the summit attendees, but websites used to have an intro. Yes, before entering a website. So this is how I started this journey, blocking the entrance like this guy in this comic. So yeah, I started building intros with Flash. So it's a old technology. So I'm old. So next, please. So yeah, my name is Oscar Arzola. I was born and raised in Mexico, and I've been living in Montreal for 4 years. So in summary, I'm a Mexican who traded tacos for snow. So also I am embracing the cold every day and French as well. So my background. So I'm a software engineer, currently working as a release manager and open source contributor at Pressbooks. I've been working as a web developer for quite some time, 23 years at the time. So I led the content management system architecture for the entire Mexico City website. Also, as I said, I am an active open source contributor and I've been speaker in WordCamp events. And now, these days, I can speak 3 languages poorly. I'm not sure if that's cool, but I can even speak proper Spanish these days. So, yeah, next, please. So, first, the importance of having a good plan and a good system to succeed. Um, as Melissa told you, the immigration process it's a long process and it's a very exhausting process. So I wasn't aware of the amount of forms, documents, and paperwork you are required to complete in order to have a successful process without rejections or failures due to some missing information. So having a structured process helped me to focus my free time on doing my paperwork. And I know every can just go to the Canada website and learn everything from each website. But to be honest, in my point of view, having a team of experts that reduces the stress of which forms, of what kind of challenges you will face while submitting your application, I think it's such a relief. And especially if you are kind of like busy people that you are working every day and you want to do or to have time with your family or something like that, definitely you want to delegate that process and having a great team to help you to build like the right path. So also my one of my recommendation is like create a document or a spreadsheet with your travel history and also your family information, dates, and how many days you were abroad when you are traveling. As I heard in the during like the summit that some people recommend you like to translate everything, and that's true. You need to be prepared to translate all of your documents that are not originally written in English, so or French if you are targeting Quebec probably. So also remind that certified translations are better. So I can imagine how the process will be without proper guidance. So yeah, definitely you need to create a plan and to have a structured process to succeed. So let's move to the next one, please. Oh yeah, so more tips in terms of like importance of having a good plan and system to succeed. As I said, create a spreadsheet for your travel records, have your personal documents available in your private cloud provided like Google Drive, iCloud. Important thing, generate to-do list and checklist for every process that will make your life easier. And as I said, get professional help. This will make your life easier. Totally. So next one, please. So this is one of the key things that I recommend. I listen some of the this like advice in the previous talk. The importance of building networks and like building relationships. So as you need to understand the importance of connect with people. So I mean, intellectual skills matter, but social skills are maybe more important to succeed. So I'm just gonna talk about a little like my story. Before my current job, I was an engineering manager at a New York based agency working remotely from Mexico. And there was a guy on my team who resigned because the development pace and rhythm didn't work for him. So he started working at Pressbooks, my current employer. And at some point he reached me out and told me, "Hey, there is a position open in Montreal. Do you want to apply? You should apply. You're a nice guy and you helped me a lot with my when you were my manager. So I think this work it would fit you very well." So that's how it started, right? My immigration process from a connection, from like a real life, like a network connection that was key. So it's important to build connections. Also, build solid relationship with your previous employers because it could be beneficial if your process required recommendation letters, maybe all pay stuffs as well. I was blessed because that all of my previous employers happily helped me with writing recommendation letters or even search in their old archives looking for my old paid stuffs that I didn't save at that time. So tip, save all of your pay stuffs starting today because it will save you tons of calls and emails. So that was really hard, but I did it. So it's important to have those. So also, as I said, start building your professional network at meetups, local events, summits, LinkedIn. Sometimes your new job is hiding behind those events because I've been met tons of current friends and colleagues at informal meetups like Atlassian meetups, WordPress, PHP, JavaScript, Amazon, etc. So it's really important. I really like to emphasize like social skills are very maybe for this kind of jobs, maybe for engineering jobs are kind of like underrated, but I think it's important because networking will give you power. So next, please. So language skills. So I just put those Duolingo screenshots because I want to like brag about my streak. So as you can see, like I have like almost more than 4 years doing that. So I build confidence. So you have to build confidence in your language skills. Learn business language phrases and structures required to communicate your ideas clearly in a professional environment. And I would say, like, keep the momentum with a variety of tools. For instance, Duolingo works for me, but there is also Membra, YouTube, Babel. I know people say that Duolingo doesn't work, but I think it works at least to get more vocabulary, and also the gamification part is key to stay attached. So I think definitely you'll require more conversational tools, but you won't get that in any app. I think you need to talk with people at the end. Also, these days it amazed me how well my wife speaks French. The difference is that she works 100% in French and I work 100% in English. So my French is very limited to ordering my morning coffee, and but to be honest, I'm very jealous because I'm not being able to understand the gossip in the coffee shop, like, so immersion is key. So my wife is working 100% in French, so now she's really fluent in French. So immersion will change the thing. So also, one thing is like the cultural barrier, like it has been hard for me to understand cultural differences and things we learned when we were kids. We used to have local references from TV and or pop culture that sometimes are not the same in other countries, so your typical phrases won't translate properly. So I recommend to go outside and practice. And at the beginning, it will be hard, but later the coffee shop person will be used to your accent and they will get your order right. So yeah, next one, please. So continue to tips and tricks. So I think one important thing is to explore the equivalent work field of your current job, because that way you are gonna have like options. So exploring the equivalent work field of your current job to start doing the paperwork required to continue working in the same field as in your country. Some fields can be done without issues, like engineering fields or like computer related fields. But there are other jobs like lawyers, doctors that are required to technically redo their education to being able to work in those fields. So one thing that Immigria recommend to me, it was to doing my comparative evaluation of studies, and I was wondering why, but I don't need it because my job I already have a job. Why I want to do that? But the thing is, like, it's important because it can open the doors to continue your studies or like get a better job if you want, because your degree is now valid as it was like in the target country. So sometimes you'll be required to validate documents like degree titles. So also be prepared to reach out your consulate to get those documents validated. And also I will like suggest like develop a plan B. For instance, if you get an open work permit, you can consider like freelancing and explore creative ways to develop a business. You don't need to start from scratch. And for the next, please. And I would say like this is kind of like the last one, and it's kind of like some challenges that you could face during this process. So integration into a new society and country. could be harsh, especially if you don't share the same culture, religion, or habits. So be sure to understand the difference beforehand to be prepared to build a new version of yourself. I mean, you can keep and share your ideology, beliefs, and habits, but I think it's highly beneficial to try to adapt to your new home. Um, Also, you need to explore the benefits and limitations as a temporary worker. For example, my kid has been able to study in English for almost 5 years. It's a benefit for temporary workers in Quebec, but most people just register their kids in French schools. I mean, if you have the opportunity, why not do both, at least in Quebec? Also, review your open work permit conditions. My wife used to be an English teacher in Mexico, but when she was looking for jobs, she discovered she had a specific blocker to teach kids. So also be prepared to get extra paperwork in some fields, because for some fields like teaching kids or education, you need to do more paperwork and more processes. Also, as I said about the comparative evaluation, for partners who come with the principal applicant, try to do your comparative evaluation of education, because that way you can continue your studies or apply for a better job from day one. You don't need to, like do the letter again. So you can the ladder you can like start almost from your words, like you ended in your previous country. So help your kids to succeed. I think that's kind of like important part. So immigration is a team effort. So I think it's start building language skills before arriving. The good thing is young people pick up languages in no time. So look for other activities in the neighborhood that can help them to integrate with the new lifestyle and also with the new people around. And I would say like maybe as like activity or family activity, it could be practice new languages and phrases together during lunch, dinner. I think that's helpful, and we have this at home. Some days we talk only in English, some days we talk only in French, and or on the regular basis in Spanish. But I mean, we choose to practice as a family, and that makes a huge difference when we do that. And I think that's the end.
I really want to thank you, Oscar, as well. And it's so beautiful that you also included the challenges, because everything is, especially in immigration, is not straightforward. And we are also very proud that you allowed us to witness your journey. And that being said, maybe it's also important to share with audience that immigration is not straightforward sometimes. And sometimes people are coming to our consultations, right? Asking a very straightforward, very quick, maybe the quickest pathway possible. But as a newcomer yourself, it took us a couple of years at least, and we had to change strategies throughout your process as well. And the immigration is changing. Quebec requirements have changed down the road, and we were with you, supporting you. We were finding alternatives. So that's also maybe another emphasis we can make. You have to have um, constant and reliable support in case you need to navigate. Your plan, ultimate goal is over there, like getting a permanent residency is in Canada, but how these can change over the time, and that's why it's very important. And you are a great example. We are so proud of you as well. Like you did it, you set the goal, you learned French, and now you are a permanent resident, soon to be a citizen. So it's a very, very good opportunity for us to show it's not sometimes straightforward as it sounds. There are challenges, and it's okay. We just have to know how to overcome them. Yeah.
Totally.
Yes,
Totally,
thank you.
totally. It was, I recall all of the challenges that we faced, and it was incredible. I had to learn French like in 2 months. So, and I was like even almost connected to the matrix, like I need to learn French in 2 months. So it was crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah, yeah. But we are so grateful that you allowed us to witness your journey as well, accompany you throughout this journey. Yeah.
And
Okay.
also, I would like just to ask you, Oscar, if you could give them an advice for all those people who are in Quebec and they see these changes in like requiring French. What are your suggestions for them in terms of French language?
Yeah, definitely the market, even though we think that with AI it's like closing, I think it's the opposite. I think now it requires more like skilled people to do the job. And I think there are plenty of opportunities in French because because in Quebec there is like a huge like needs for foreign people to fill the gaps. So I think it's very important. I think it could be a very good opportunity for people that really wants to understand and live in like in a French like province. I think it could be a very good opportunity because there are a lot of developers that if they do like the extra job of learning French, the opportunities like are like open like twice, like you have double opportunities, you have like twice of opportunities at least in Quebec. And there are a lot of like so I think it's a good thing to learn French because you will be able to work in Quebec and even in France on other like countries that speaks French.
Exactly, exactly. And I remember we tried first the artificial intelligence
Yes.
pathway, and then this program closed very fast last year, and we needed to change the strategy. So that's why it's amazing to have a support
Yes.
from a specialized team as Imicria, because we start probably with one strategy, and in the meantime then when we see that, for example, in this case, the program was closed very fast, so Oscar was already ready to apply for other pathway, that it was the PEQ, that now it's closed. And then, well, it was very interesting pathway. Oscar, do you want to add something else?
No, I mean, I think that's all. So thank you for having me. It was really cool.